Hi everybody, this is Ryan from Android in Canada, and here's my review of the HTC One S. I was sent this model by HTC, and this is operating on the Virgin network, so it operates on the Bell. Anyways, let's just get to it. A very nice, sleek phone, very skinny. Like I said, you've seen that idea of has a sort of fake bezel or a sort of curve to it. It's really actually flat, but I guess that feel of curves all over the thing. The steel or whatever the aluminum they have in the background, it feels really nice in the hand. It's a really nice, sleek, I hate to use the term sexy sort of phone. So it's got a really good feel. It also has Gorilla Glass, which makes me feel a little better about using the phone and putting it in the pocket, etc. Right. We also have some connections. We have our headphone connector there. There we go, we got some focus there. Get your power button. We've got our volume rocker, and that's about it. We also have our micro USB port in the back, our camera. I'm not a big fan of where they put them. Maybe it's just I'm too used to having, like the Nexus, on each side. It does make doing the screenshots a little bit harder to do, having to hold them here and here. The physical buttons it also has in the bottom, not a big fan of, and one of the problems I notice about it is the fact that sometimes your apps having to use the menu button instead of putting it up there in the corner will put it down here at the bottom of the screen in dead center, so it just kills away a little bit of your screen. So that's one of the downsides I think I've had with it. Otherwise, in terms of hardware for this guy, as we all know, you can't get at the battery. There's no SD card in it. I'm not too concerned about having the SD card. I'm not that big about the battery, as long as it works. But the camera, I think, is one of the better cameras out there right now, and I'm really starting to like it for this phone. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later. Into the software, like I said, okay, so let's dive right into the camera. One thing I really liked about my Nexus is how fast the shutter worked on it. Just tap the button and it would take pictures almost instantly. So really good. Other features I really like about it is the fact that it has a lot of sort of built-in automatic features. One of the ones I tend to use are a little bit heavier than most, as I'm not a big fan of most sort of other features, is the HDR option. Which I really liked in terms of it worked even better than I've noticed on some of my HDR camera app that I have on my other phone. It actually worked a lot better. But no, a lot of little settings in here you can play around with for close-up, etc. All at a quick, easy glance and easy notice. So for those of you who are not that photographically inclined and may not want to play around with it, you have a lot of quick, easy buttons. HTC Sense. I mean, everybody always talked about HTC Sense being very slow, very laggy. I think they've done a bang-up job on making this on top of ICS work very well, not having to really notice a lot of the lag. As well as I like some of the extra little features they throw with HTC Sense. I'm actually growing accustomed to them. I really like this, album kind of look, widgets. They have, I miss that old sort of, clock counter with the weather widget. You got your standard power widgets, etc. So, I mean, it's something I'm really starting to get back into. I do like the camera, or sort of the keyboard they have on it as well. It has actually, a swiping kind of feel to it as well. Works quite well for most people would have find out for using it. You have built in a lot of features for Facebook, Hotmail, SkyDrive, Twitter, or automatically without having to download separate apps, which was kind of nice. If you get Dropbox, you're going to get a 23 gigabyte bonus with Dropbox because of a deal they have with HTC. And just all the little things that go into the unit. I mean, I gave it to a couple of friends, and one of the first things they do is they swipe and they go, "Oh, I like that feel." So very finished, very polished feel and look to the phone. Little things like turning on Wi-Fi or turning off, I mean, they're animated. Again, neat little things, not necessary, but again, gives it that sort of overall feel. The change to the recent apps that they have makes it very card style, you know, like WebOS. So kind of neat in that sense. Again, just putting their own sort of spin on it. One thing I haven't gotten used to yet is the way that they have some of the layout in the screen. So if you want to go and find out, you know, a certain feature I'm used to, let's say I want to take a look at my battery usage, I have to go and find, there's usually a button for the battery, and it'll show you the usage. You just have to hit power and then battery use for to tell you how much it's been using. Mobile usage, again, there is always a spot right there for mobile usage. I have to click more and then go to usage. And you can see that way. So there's just a couple different menu layout issues that you just have to get used to if you've been using another phone. If this is your first phone or you're jumping up to this phone from something a little bit older, you'll have no problem at all. Another neat thing I liked about HTC Sense is the lock screen. You have that sort of menu button down there. So if you want to bring something up, just drag either, you can either drag the ring right out to get it back down, or drag the item to the ring and jump to that app. So you can customize it, but you are limited to whatever goes down there. The downside is, if I put folders like I've done on that, it just brings me to the screen and brings me to those folders. So not as useful, so you may have to play around with how you lay those out yourself. You may notice in the back of here, it does come with Beats audio. Can't say I've really noticed that much of a difference when I turn it on or when I play around with it, but that's what's in there. So overall, I find it's very snappy, no lag whatsoever. Sometimes I notice menu or UI lag. Don't notice on this guy here. Some of the bigger, heftier programs, it's kind of chunked through no problem. One thing I do have noticed about is that the notification light, once I've gotten used to having it, not having it, or in this case, having it in one of those little tiny dots, it's almost, you can miss it pretty easily. It's kind of a pain, but not a deal breaker. The battery life has been pretty decent. I mean, if I sort of extrapolate how many hours I have been using it, and say if I want to wipe it right down, I would say anywhere from the 12 to 14 hours range. So this is a pretty decent battery life phone. Definitely full life. Yeah, it's a great little guy. I kind of enjoy it. It's, like I said, it's been a good little device. I'm not ready to throw away my Nexus for this device quite yet, but the One X model, which is the model up about this, which will have a bigger screen and will have NFC, that'll be pretty comparable to the Nexus in terms of ready to get rid of it. So, who knows? Excellent screen. Very well responsive device. So the HTC One S, it's available on Bell and Virgin. I'd recommend it as a pickup for sure, for a pretty decent price. Okay, thanks so much guys for watching.